Elina from, she is Spanish, but she works in England, in London. And she is also one of our project group. And she will, then I will go. But now I have to find this sign where the, where did I put that? To go back to, do you know what? I will go through map. I will open the map. That you can all learn that. I open the map and then I will look for Valencia. There it is, Valencia. And I double click on Valencia and then I get teleported to Valencia. So there are two ways to get there, as you can see. And Christy already knew where we went, so she's already there. Okay, we can go to the playa.
Sí, hola. First
Hola.
of all, let me just say hello to everybody. Hola, for those of you who speak Spanish and for everybody who is teaching Spanish as a foreign language as well. I don't think I'm going to speak much Spanish, but please feel free to speak, to ask your questions in Spanish to me. And because this is a Spanish island, una isla donde la lengua que se habla es en español, you should come to the island more often and learn there. You see, Nick? And because of that, you will see text written in Spanish when we are interacting with some robots. Just wait for that. But yes, just a second. Nick mentioned the beach. So we have la platja or la playa in Catalan written there on that sign that he showed. Valencia is a beautiful, beautiful city. And Nick, our wonderful Nick, has really made justice to the city in this virtual world. So it really is like the real Valencia in there. So although in Valencia we have also the learning stations and the learning paths that you will see, or you will have just seen in Pagolet, or that we will see later on in Salzburg, or also in another island called Asterix, where you can take your students for practicing English. We just decided to create something different in Valencia that can also be adapted as anything else in this world to all the different islands. And just thought for a second, what would our secondary school learners do in a real city? If we had them there learning the language, what activity could we do with the city? So we thought of a treasure hunt, a gincana en español. So for those of you perhaps not familiar with it, it is a game or an activity really where you have some questions and there are teams of people taking part in that treasure hunt or this activity, and with all the answers to these questions and the time, that is the team that finishes first and has all the right answers, you are the one that sort of wins the activity or the task. So we thought, let's use the city of Valencia as such. And we have the virtual city, and our students are supposed to go and talk to the ghost of Valencia, this fantastic bot, este robot que ha creado Nick para nosotros. So they have 4 stops. The first stop is the Torres de Serrano in this case. Anyone interested in how the gincana works, please get in touch. We are really excited about it. And you get close to the bot.
I will.
Please, Nick. And it says, hola. So it starts interacting with the avatar that gets close to it. And then you are nice to him.
¿Qué tal? Sí,
Or her.
Bien.
Please. And there is a little interaction at the beginning.
Muy bien. Gracias. Bienvenidos a Valencia. Tengo una pregunta. ¿Queréis oírla?
¿Queréis oírla? So the ghost, the bot, the robot, asks the students whether they want to hear the question or read, rather, because we are going to use chat with the text chat with the bot all the time, whether they want to hear the question. So hopefully the students will say something like yes or of course. Go on, Nick.
Sí. Sí.
Hopefully.
¿En qué siglo se construyeron las torres de Serranos? Leed el texto del tablón actividad.
Exactly.
Oh, the clock is ticking.
Is it ticking already?
Yes.
Wow, how did that happen?
That's because of the question, I think.
Right, so the clock is ticking. They have to go to the board with the actividad, the activity board, the one on the left. Click on it. Again, they have the instruction at the top and say, read this text. And then, all of a sudden, the text appears by magic.
Of course.
And it appears, for sure.
Does it?
It's just that, yeah, I promise.
Not here?
No, that's interaction. That's the activity that they have to do afterwards.
It should appear, but...
It's not appearing, it's just making our life a little bit more mysterious in this medieval Valencia. And you have the text, and it's a little text with the explanation of when, the place where they are, which is Torre de Serranos. That's the Torre de Serranos, which is a monument that you can see in Valencia, where they were built. So they have to read the text. It's a sort of short text. It's a very good activity for Spanish lingua franca, for two schools teaching Spanish to their students, or even tandem, so that the native speakers of the language perhaps can support the non-native speakers of Spanish, and then they have to go back to the bot, and because we know the answer, we say
14.
So we can write 1-4, we can write siglo XIV, as in like 14th century. We can write the Roman numbers. We can do it in many ways for the century.
I want to explain why that doesn't show now on the boards, because we have a small network problem. We run this laptop on a Wi-Fi from the EduRoam, and sometimes we have no connection, so then I don't receive the pictures from the server. So that's why. Yeah, you have it, but I don't have it, so I can't. Oh, they are there, so if you want to go, I'll go there. But anyway, I said 14.
And we had an answer from the bot. And well, that also brings us to the fact that the internet connection you have in your schools when you're working with this is very important, and these things need to be checked before you start working with the virtual world. So yes, the answer is correct. The avatar says that the answer is correct, and it tells the students that they need to click on the interaction board that we still cannot see on Nick's computer, and in the interaction, they have to talk a little bit about their cities and get some answers on a Google document from the other students in the same group, because we are thinking that one way to do it is to have two schools in two different countries and have two students from one, two students from the other, and they all have to work collaboratively. However, there are other options. So one would be that they ask the questions to the students from the other country, and then the bot also says, after that interaction, you go to the next point. Before that, they don't know where to go. So in this case, is go to the beach, and they also get 2 letters. In the end, because there are 4 stops, they will get 8 letters in total, and they will form one word. That word will stop the clock, which means that they will have 4 answers and a time, which is a real treasure hunt in a virtual world, in our opinion. We will ask for your opinion, actually, in a second. Another of the stops, of the 4, one is in Torres de Serrano. This one is in, they also have the rent-a-bike in Valencia. It's called Valenbici. And in this one, we wanted to show you that we also have a ghost. It doesn't have a clock, because it doesn't need it. And it also, when you get close, it also greets you, and it tells you that he has a question for you. And it tells you to watch the video and answer the question. So this board has a video in it, and they are supposed to watch the whole video in order to get the answer to the question.
Hola. Tú llegas, pones aquí tu tarjeta, te dice que pongas tu código que son de unas 4 cifras. Le das a OK.
I think that's fine. So as you can see, the boards do work really well, and even with videos. And you give the answer to the bot. In this case, is number 12. Good. So it's 12. It's the bike that the boy is going to take. And it tells you where to go next, the 2 letters that you need to give to the final clock, and also, obviously, to go to the interaction board. In this case, you need to talk to your team about whether you go on bike, the transport that you prefer. Yes, you have everything there because it's working now. Whether you have this sort of rent-a-bike concept in your town, etc. So you do the little interaction, you write that in Google Docs, some little notes to give that worksheet to your teacher afterwards, and you're done. And then you move to another stop. We have one more.
Go to the beach.
Yeah, we go to the beach, but we have one more just there, which is a beautiful, 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 beautiful little cafe where they sell horchata, which is this amazing Valencian drink. So that's a place to go. And it's a real horchateria de Santa Catalina. So that's
In Valencia.
in Valencia, of course. So we have something else there, but you will explore it at your own time. Now we will just go to the beach because we want to show you what else can be done apart from text, video, and...
I will fly there.
Oh yes, fly. Fly us to the beach, please. See, there's a game, another game that we will see in Saarburg as well.
Oh, another robot?
We have another ghost there that is appearing, a bot or a robot, which is also going to interact with us.
And a jukebox.
A jukebox, yes. So if you get close to the bot, it tells you...
¿Gusta de la música español? Sí.
Si te gusta la música, you like music, sí.
Yes, I like. Oh, me gusta mucho. Escuchas en el jukebox la canción de Amaral, que 3 palabras faltan a la letra de la canción en el tablón. Actividades.
So you can, you click on the jukebox, you get all the different songs,
Amaral.
and you choose Amaral, the one that the bot said.
Number 7.
You have the music. The bot, Nick also told you to go to Tablón Actividad so that you can fill in the lyrics. So again, the network is failing us here, or is about to work, but the lyrics are there, and there are 3 gaps, and the 3 gaps need to fill in by hearing the song and providing the 3 answers to the bot afterwards when they have been able to see the lyrics on the board and to listen to the full song.
Yeah.
And we can give the answers because we know the answers to the bot. It tells you that the answer is correct. It tells you where to go next, the 2 letters for the final 8-letter word, and also to do not leave that place until you have done the interaction by reading the interaction board. And in this case, is to talk about music, what music you like. Yeah, the beach is really nice. I think we should go to the beach and relax there a little bit, probably. So yes.
Shall I tell a little secret?
Please, yes, tell them a little
This
secret.
is actually the place where the TeCoLa people have their virtual meetings.
Nick,
We
that is
always-
more than a secret. I don't know what we have to do with you now and everybody here.
This is
So yes, we have our meetings there. So working in a virtual world is actually something fun. We have a lot of fun with this. And I was programming the bots yesterday, and it's something that it's text, it's a language, and we just need to have, as teachers, we need to have a
Helado.
Oh, helado. We just need to have like an idea and perhaps a question and an answer, and we can just tell the bot what it needs to say or for the interaction with the student. And also the boards. The boards, as Corinne said before, the boards and the screens that always appear there, can also be adapted to your languages, to your contexts, to all the different places. And one thing, after having showed you a little bit of the whole world, a bit of TeCoLa and a bit of Valencia, that we wanted to do with you is, and also the people at home, is to ask you to interact a little bit between you, perhaps in pairs, perhaps in couples, thinking, what do you think of these learning stations? What do you think of these learning paths? What do you think of a treasure hunt, of your students talking to a bot or a robot? And a couple of minutes also for the people online, please put your ideas, thoughts, anything on the chat. Thank you. And we'll very much welcome a little bit of feedback now, and then we can continue also with the next islands. But please, we'll just rest a little bit on the beach. And if you could please perhaps talk to somebody next to you now for a couple of minutes and discuss what you're feeling about this virtual world. What do you think of what you're seeing? The different activities we are proposing.
I like it.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay, so do that, please.
I have to talk to mine. What do you think of the...
I think we need to let them talk a little bit and interact a little bit.
Okay.
It's really nice to hear the buzz, so it's nice that there are impressions in the room, and I believe there are some questions also on the chat online. Sorry, because the mic was on when you were having time to interact, but we thought it was a natural thing to just comment on what was happening in Valencia just now. So should we please have somebody from the audience tell us in any language that you want, almost, what you think? What are your feelings so far, please? Some people are really happy, but the camera cannot see you, so they are going like that. Brilliant. But can we hear why are you so happy, for example? Antipi,
oui.
here. Merci beaucoup.
Moi déjà, je pense que avec mes collègues, on travaille déjà dans un sens qui est très facilement transposable dans ce monde-là. Donc déjà avec des treasure hunt, escape game aussi. Je pourrais imaginer un scénario d'escape game dans ce genre de monde. Donc il y a beaucoup de choses à faire. Et j'aimerais ajouter que je trouve que ça serait intéressant, peut-être que ça existe encore, on n'a pas tout vu, une île ou un monde fantaisiste. Parce que là, on reste vraiment dans le réel. Et je comprends qu'il y a l'élément culturel, donc découvrir l'environnement d'une ville espagnole, découvrir le village à la française. Mais je pense que les apprenants apprécient beaucoup aussi dans la réalité virtuelle la possibilité d'aller au-delà du réel. Est-ce que vous envisagez un monde plus fantaisiste avec des animaux légendaires, je ne sais pas, des pouvoirs magiques, pourquoi pas? Je pense que les jeunes apprenants aimeraient beaucoup aussi ce genre de choses.
Merci beaucoup.
Okay, shall I translate or summarize? She said that she was very interested in what you said, and that she's really in this kind of games, and she was interested in escape games. And she wanted to know, well, she was really interesting to see that we have different islands with different cities, French city, Spanish city, etc. But she would like to know if it's possible to be more creative and to have a fantasy or a fancy city, and with other people that are not really people, or imaginary animals or things like that, if it's possible to do that and to develop that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's more a question for Nick, but I've seen really funny characters that he can put in the worlds, absolutely.
Well, I can change myself into anything I'd like. So, like if you talk about Asterix, then now I am changing myself into an Asterix man. Probably this is the one that plays the music and always hangs in the tree at the end of the story. So I can also give him a harp somewhere. I have that. You can create. There are many worlds already created in Open Simulator, and especially fantasy. And now you see just an Asterix man, but you can also have something like you walk around like an animal, of a furry, or a fairy tale princess. That's all possible. I created for myself a set like here. I have if I click on this, I will be a furry dragon, and. You see, so everything there is already made a lot available to work with. There you go. Oh, I got a tail.
Donc il y a possibilité au niveau des avatars d'être assez créatif au niveau des différents avatars.
Yes, and everything that you see here is built by me. But everybody can build, so it's quite simple. So you
Donc on peut
can
créer
create
des
fantastic
choses.
fantasy.
Et on peut laisser les enseignants avoir des idées, créer d'autres mondes, des mondes parallèles. Donc Nick est là pour construire aussi ce genre de choses. Avec vous.
Oui.
I think Martin is reading another question. Are you reading another question, Martin? Or
That's me also.
I was going to say that I really like that one.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Un squelette.
I don't think my wife will like this.
Non. Non.
No
Sorry.
estás guapo así. No está guapo así.
No está guapo.
No.
You're not beautiful like that, Nick.
Okay.
Okay, I got a question. I don't know if I missed this information, if you said it already, but my question or my observation is that at the beginning of the program, there should be like a window for different levels. Like we have students that want to learn or are learning languages in different levels. So it could be a good idea if we had at the beginning a window with, I don't know, basic levels, and then after you pass the first level, then you can go and do the other activities, you know, from the higher level, because it could be very good for students to practice what they are learning in that level. And there are students that are going to be like, okay, I know how to ask or order, or how to order breakfast, or, you know, make a menu or this or that. But on the other hand, there must be different levels for students according to their own level, no?
Yes.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
an observation, but I really like it.
Well, this
Thank you.
in a virtual world, it works a bit different, but you can do this by if they first go to the level 1 island, then after they have done all the assignments, they have the possibility to click on a button to be teleported to the next level island, which can be on another destination, which you can't see on the map. On the map, you see only the islands that are close to each other, but there are many. If I zoom out, you can see there are many spaces where still can be where islands can be placed, which are next levels. So that's possible.
And basically for TeCoLa, the most important thing for TeCoLa, in fact, is that you as a teacher will become part of our network of teachers. And then we are your coaches, which means you tell us, this is what I have. I've got a very diverse classroom where I need to group these students with a very basic language activity, but I'd like a very advanced one for this other group, and then maybe they can help each other with the activity. You name it. You are in the right moment at the right time. We have time to coach you and to help you with that and tell you what's there and what you can do afterwards as well what you can create, what's already created. It is the right moments. So you tell us that, you become part of our network, and then you meet other teachers. You meet teachers like Corinne who are already doing these things. They give you ideas, you give them ideas. We have a forum, so that happens. That does happen. That's
yeah,
okay.
maybe I can also add this, because the boards you saw there, they can also have other content. And you create this content, like you create worksheets for your students, yeah, and then they can be put there. So it's up to you what you need for your class, for the different levels, and so you can do that.
Yeah.
Or we could show it now or perhaps at the end, but exactly what Petra said, we have these worksheets and they are on the drive, on our drive now, and these are obviously passed on to you if you, instead of breakfast, you want to do on the OER. But I mean, if they want to edit it and they want to see them as a Google Doc, and then you just need to say, we are not studying anything to do with food now, we are doing music. So you change it to music, you put your own pictures, you put your own links to your videos, your own music. You probably think Amaral is not the right song for your class, go for something else. And if it's not in the jukebox, then it's something that Nick would add to the jukebox for us. Another song that we haven't thought of. And obviously, yes, again, the Open Educational Resources Pool, the OER, there's a lot already there, and that can be also added to these boards. So your content can be shown. If you say, I want this hour for my students, we know that you're gonna be in the world with your students and on the boards. Anything you want can appear.
Okay, I think we have now, we're right on schedule, because we are going to visit the English village called Chatterdale, and I will be assisted by Petra. Thank you much.
De nada.
De nada. Muchas gracias.